For this Spark tutorial, we're going to take a look at making a graphic, and that graphic might be something that goes digital or it might be something that goes for print. Instead of starting it like I did the last tutorial, instead of using one of these shortcuts here on my home page, I'm instead going to come up top here to the search bar. And in the search bar, you'll notice that there are over 20,000 Spark templates that are already in place. So I can search for virtually anything, and those tags will bring back several different templates I can choose from. So I'm going to start on this one with Infographic. And in searching for infographics, you'll notice immediately there are all sorts of infographics. Some are for advertising, some are for personal information, but I can search through any of these and pull up some that will be close to what I'm looking for. So let's say, for instance, this one. So I'm going to continue with my daffodils, and I can see on this one it's just simply facts, and there's an image in the background. We've got some colors and some graphics to deal with. I'm going to click on Create, and just like anything else, Spark is going to go ahead and start building out that template for me. And when the graphic first loads, you'll notice it's like anything else inside of Spark. Everything inside of this document is editable, and I can come in and just simply double-click to start editing. If I double-click on the text, I'll go inside of a text box, and I can go ahead and change this to the project that I've been working on. You notice when I click on any of those elements, Spark gives me the exact information and the exact options that I can work with, so we'll come back and edit those. Now, one of the reasons I chose this particular infographic to work with as a demonstration is because of this little trick that they have in place. You'll notice that this looks like it has a darker, transparent side coming into place. But actually what it is a second image that's been lined up to give that effect. So these are two images that are listed inside of here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this one. And I do want to replace this. And I'm going to look back up daffodils. And I'll have several images that come together. Perhaps this first image is one that I'll work with. And as I bring it in, you'll notice it still has that color attached to it. All of these colors can be adjusted inside of the different filters that are in place. So you can see Colorize has been used here. And if I click on None, it'll bring it back to its original image. If I click on the second image, I'm going to come back over and replace this again with the same image. And I'm going to pull the same trick that they did, and I'm simply going to line up this image as best I can. As I'm lining it up, you're going to notice that I'm going to turn off that filter so I can get this a little more exact. And that looks about right. So I'm going to click on that first image and come back in and darken it down. And you can see I've pulled that same sort of effect that they had. Since all of these elements are editable, I'm simply going to click on them and start changing out to the imagery that I would like to have in place. You'll notice those guidelines will appear with any of the elements. I can select multiple elements by holding down Shift and still dragging them into place. All of the text that's in here is of the same layout, and I can change that as well to each of these. I'm going to go ahead and change out our font on this one. Let's go to something a little more bold, I think. Oh, I do like that one. Or perhaps this one. By changing any of these, we're going to see global edits on the fly, so they're all live. And you can also change them by simply clicking and dragging. Keyboard arrows also nudge things. You'll notice my cursor's not on top of it, but I can still move it around so I can get the perfect spacing. I can come in and adjust colors again, working on the differences between them. I can even add effects as needed. So perhaps I would like a shadow and an outline, or just the outline. To edit my text, I'm simply going to click on any of those elements and replace the text. Now, there are 5 different spaces in here for text, and perhaps I don't need all of them. Simply deleting that with your keyboard will automatically remove it from the space. If I go ahead and double click inside of any of them, I can highlight that text, paste in my new text, and you'll notice it automatically comes into place. Now this is scaling based off of the proportions from before. If those don't work for me, I can simply click and drag those sliders and make those adjustments as necessary. All the pieces have those grid lines again for us to be able to line up. And I'm going to go ahead and continue out editing. So as I'm making my last changes inside of here, you can see I've gone and I've changed all the text color into a black and white, so I can really set out the contrast from the background. And I'm basically just clicking on each one that I have and coming through and adjusting the colors back, and it'll just automatically fill it in. For this daffodil flower that I have here, I like that it's yellow, but that light yellow I don't think is going to stand out as much, so I'm going to change this to a different yellow. You notice Spark is also giving me suggested colors out of the composition to pick from. So I'm going to choose that warmer yellow. And I would say this is almost done, but you'll notice down here at the bottom, my credits, they're slightly off to the side. They're not centered. So if I go ahead and click on those credits and I hold down Shift and I click on the rest of the text that I have, you'll notice immediately Spark allows me to start aligning them. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that center alignment, and you'll see that everything just scooched over into its right spot. And then while I have all of this highlighted, I'm going to use my arrow keys to nudge all of them up a little bit. And with that, I think my infographic page is about finished. So same options that I've had before. I can head up to download and download it as an image, or I can click on share and set up an email or an image link to give to anyone else. So hope this helps making a graphic.